Cali and Craig Talk. I'm Cali.
And I'm Craig.
Today, it's you and me, Bestie.
Yeah, we have a whole lot of stuff to talk about.
We do. Well, we always do, but
Hmm.
especially today, because today was my book signing at Barnes& and Noble.
Yeah, I got to hang out with you on Zoom while you were there. It sounded like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I always love having you there because it's nice that since you can't be here with me physically, you can be there with me virtually.
Hmm.
So it's nice to have
Hmm.
the bestie support there. But yeah, I met a lot of nice people and I mean the highlight is obviously meeting all of the new people who wanted to buy the book and actually bought it and just talking and meeting new people. But the second highlight was definitely the fact that they made a Starbucks drink for me.
Yes, it was Cali Kitchen Frappuccino. Was it a Frappuccino?
It was a Frappuccino. It was vanilla bean and strawberry cream.
That sounds delicious.
It was so good and it was so pretty and it looked like a little vampire thing. And I don't know, I thought it was the coolest thing. Like I geeked out over that. Well, you were there, but I mean, like I geeked out over that for the whole day. Like even at the end of the day, I was geeked out over it. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. You don't drink Starbucks that much though, right?
Not very often. I tend not to react to something in it. So it's just one ingredient I have a sensitivity to.
Yeah.
But I used to really like it back when I
Yeah.
could handle it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is part of us getting old. We're old
Yeah,
people now,
true.
so we have food sensitivities to all things, I
Yeah. And
think.
my favorite part about Starbucks has always been the cute baristas.
Mm.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but John was a Starbucks barista for a while.
I
Uh
don't remember.
yeah.
I don't know, but that's really fitting though.
Hmm.
Did he get to keep the apron?
I think he did. I think we still have the
Oh
apron.
my.
You know, we go to this fancy Halloween party every year. He should dress up as a Starbucks barista because he's got the branded t-shirts. I think he's got the apron. Yeah, he's
What will
because it's
you
a
dress up
there's
as
I don't
then?
know. I
You
don't know.
do coordinate in costumes, so
Yeah. Well, I think he has two aprons because he was a coffee master at one point, so he got a green apron. I think that. So if you see most baristas have a black apron, he had a green one because he went through special training.
oh my, a
Yeah.
coffee master.
Yeah.
I
I
had
do not bow to him. I don't respect his authority, but Starbucks does.
but yeah, I had no idea that there were different levels, that there was a coffee master and there
Hmm.
was a barista. Is that the same as a manager or is it different?
No, so Coffee Master, I think, was training on basically how to appreciate coffee. So I don't know if you've ever gone to a Starbucks where they do like a tasting class. They don't do them
No,
very often, but
no.
that's part of what coffee masters do. So I went to one of these classes once, and they give you like samples of different coffees, and they
Hmm.
teach you how to like smell it, how to taste it,
Oh,
and then
okay.
also like the food pairing. So if you have a certain type of food and then drink the coffee, it changes the taste of the coffee in your mouth.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
really interesting.
So it's like a wine tasting, but with
Yeah,
coffee.
yeah,
Yeah,
but with
yeah.
coffee.
Yeah, but with coffee. That's
Hmm.
cool. I have only like I really started drinking coffee like only a few years ago, and it was really out of necessity just because I'm so tired all the time.
Hmm.
Because I find that I really like I don't love any particular coffee. Like the coffee that I love is like a frappuccino, and that's really not a coffee. Like it's just like
Hmm.
a frosty, sugary thing with like a splash of coffee in it.
Hmm.
Um, but I needed to switch because I was drinking Monster Energy and Red Bull all the time, and they're just bad for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So, plus there's a ton of sugar, and so like as much as we're talking about Starbucks, I don't, you know that I don't really drink Starbucks all that often. So the coffee we have at home is not that. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't love it. Like I wouldn't consider myself like a coffee addict, even though I have 3 cups a day. I would say I'm addicted to caffeine
Hmm.
more so than I'm addicted to coffee.
Yeah, yeah. I can't drink much
No,
coffee.
yeah.
For listeners at home, 'cause I don't think I've ever said this on the show, but too much coffee too many days in a row will eat away at my stomach lining. And then I
Yeah.
have to go cold turkey on all caffeine for about a month for my stomach to get back to normal.
Mm,
So I've never fully gotten back into coffee after having to do that twice because
that's
it's not
true
worth the risk.
because yeah, because at lunchtime you always have that tea.
Yeah, sometimes I
Usually a
do have a
tea.
coffee,
Yeah.
like an Americano at lunch, but yeah, usually a tea. So when I'm good, I have about half a cup of coffee a day. So clearly I'm not drinking it for the caffeine.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. You're not. So you're
Hmm.
not addicted to caffeine, so you're good.
But I do like the taste of coffee. That's what I
Yeah.
struggle with. Like I haven't found a tea that really replaces coffee. There's been a few that have been close, but no.
Yeah, we've tried a bunch of different teas. I haven't really found one that I like love. I don't know, but I like the see, you don't really wait. But now do you like fruity teas? Because I know you don't love fruity desserts, but fruity teas do you like or not really?
Not really.
Yeah.
So the closest I found that was as satisfying as coffee, and it tastes
Hmm.
nothing like coffee,
Hmm.
but there is like a Red Dragon chai tea,
Yeah.
by the same company that makes Sleepy Time,
Hmm.
if you have that in the US,
Yeah, I
sure.
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was really good. It had a really strong flavor. That's, I think,
Yeah.
what made me
I
like it.
like chai tea too. Like
Hmm.
chai is pretty good. I'm trying to think if there's another one, but I don't really like cold teas, like iced teas. I don't really find that I like those. I like warm tea though. You like
Oh, I
iced
like iced
tea?
tea. I
You
like
do,
iced tea
right?
better
Yeah.
than hot tea, but
Then
I
hot
only
tea.
drink iced tea like on a hot summer day. It's
Hmm.
not a drink I normally have.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of things that I only have on hot summer days. The only thing that's coming to mind is watermelon. Like I
Hmm.
really only have watermelon in the summer. That's weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's understandable. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
really. So here's a weird thing. I don't really like watermelon, but I do have a
Hmm.
watermelon story.
Hmm.
Have you ever barbecued watermelon?
No, no.
Yeah. So if you like barbecue it really well, it changes the sugars in it somehow, and it doesn't.
Hmm.
It also softens, so it looks like a tuna, fresh tuna. Like it's got that
Oh,
dark reddish color, and it's kind of got that texture to it.
hmm.
And it doesn't taste like watermelon anymore. I wouldn't call it great, but it's interesting.
Yeah, interesting. I've seen a couple of people making watermelon sandwiches recently,
Oh, that did
which
not appeal to me at all.
instead of like the bread, there are two pieces. Oh, I would
Oh,
not.
oh,
I don't want to
no.
eat it either. Okay, but ill would wait. Okay, hold on, because you said ill like way too late. Hold on. Because the watermelon sandwich sounds disgusting, but
Yeah,
I think the watermelon inside of bread sounds worse than
true.
the watermelon as the
Yes,
bread.
because watermelon in the bread would make the bread
Oh, could you imagine?
soggy.
It'd be so
Oh.
soggy, gross. I hate soggy bread so much. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can't. No.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's many things that taste good soggy. Can you think of something that tastes good soggy?
What tastes good soggy?
I don't know. Don't say soup because that doesn't count. I can't think of
No,
anything.
no.
Definitely not cereal. I hate cereal. And I don't eat
Oof.
cereal that much, but
Neither
soggy
do I.
cereal. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Ugh.
Yeah, no. Um, Soggy anything. No, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Definitely not.
I'm at a loss too.
Me too. I don't know. But for listeners at home, this was Bestie Week because John was away on retreat.
Hmm.
So Callie and Craig made a ton of fun recipes, but
Yeah,
did
they didn't
not.
all turn out, but yes.
They mostly turned out. We had a pretty good ratio this time.
So let's put it this way. The recipes that you picked turned out. The recipes that I picked did not.
Okay, okay, yeah, maybe just this one time. But I don't want it to sound like it's your fault because we picked it together. So yes, you did pick it, but also I allowed you to pick it. It looked good.
Yeah,
It was a lentil soup. What was it
yeah.
called though? You
Oh, I
remember?
don't remember, but it was a Lebanese
It was a
lentil and
Lebanese
pasta
lentil
soup,
soup. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I like lentils, I like pasta, I like spices. This did not have enough spice in it. It was
Yeah, I
very
know.
bland.
We thought it
And
was
then,
bland. Yeah.
yeah, and then admittedly, I used the wrong lentils, so maybe these
Yeah.
ones got mushier, but it was just mush.
No, because remember, I used the right lentils. So
Oh, that's right.
it was lentils, and then it was supposed to be water, and then lentils, water, and then the noodles, and then the spices. That was all that was in it. And
Hmm.
then, so Craig and I thought, well, why don't we use vegetable stock or chicken stock to try and make it like a little bit more flavorful, which thankfully we did because it was so bland. I don't even know what it would have tasted like if we didn't add it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but maybe we're just used to, oh, I mean, there's a possibility we didn't measure right, is number one.
True.
But we're just maybe used to more spice, I think, because we're always playing
And
with
yeah,
recipes, you especially, like you usually add, well, I think we both do. We
yeah.
really just toss all kinds of stuff and we're making things.
And like,
You more.
admittedly, we didn't put in the cilantro that the
Oh, we
recipe
didn't
called
put in the
for.
cilantro. And we also, okay, never mind. We would like to formally apologize for this recipe because it was not this recipe's fault. Upon further reflection, as of the last 30 seconds ago, it was probably our fault, to be honest.
It could be.
A little bit because, well, remember, so it was supposed to be made on a pot. It wasn't supposed to be made in a crock pot, remember? But we put it in the
Ah,
crock pot and
yes.
then we cooked it for like 3 hours and the lentils were not getting mushy. Oh yeah, and then stupid Callie put the noodles in. I was supposed to put the noodles in last, but I didn't. So then Craig, who didn't want me to suffer alone, threw his noodles in too. Well, then we decided we were going to turn it up on high because it was taking too long. And then put it on high, and within like an hour, all the liquid had evaporated. So it was just lentil mush. So
Hmm.
I guess that's technically our fault, really, now that we say it out
Uh,
loud.
let's blame the recipe.
Yeah, well, either way, I don't think we're gonna make it again because we didn't really
No,
care for the flavor. Or there
no,
wasn't
no.
enough flavor there for us. But which recipe was your favorite that we made? Because we made other
So what did
ones.
we make? We made the
We
lentil
made.
mush. I'm not
Hmm.
going to say that's my favorite.
No.
We made French bread pizza, which
Oh.
use your imagination, listeners at home. It's basically pizza on
Oh my
French
gosh,
bread.
Craig, I forgot that in the post. We also made
Oh,
French bread
yes.
pizza. Holy crap, we've been cooking up a storm.
Yeah.
I
And
forgot about
then
that. Yeah.
there was the pumpkin loaf,
Oh yeah. That
which is
was,
very good.
oh my God, that was 10 out of 10.
And was that it?
Callie's homemade gravy,
Oh, yes, homemade gravy.
which is also marinara sauce for anyone who doesn't call it gravy.
Which was very good. I didn't, honestly, I wasn't sure it was going to come together. Like I knew
Hmm.
you wouldn't lead me astray, but I was a
Hmm.
little bit concerned. We'll put it that way. Uh, but then it really came together. It was really good. Oh, I just realized I put it in the fridge. I should move it to the freezer. I'm not going to eat it till next week, the rest of the sauce.
Yeah, you should. I have 2 jars in the freezer. Well, you were concerned because you didn't think that tomatoes were going to break down.
Yes.
To be clear, that was what you were concerned about.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you put
Yes.
in, you quarter the tomatoes and you put them
Yes.
in and you basically just leave it
Yeah.
on low. Yep.
And Craig, the way that Craig has always made sauce has gone through a processor. So, but
Hmm.
my tomato sauce, we cut the stems out and then we just toss that and a bunch of seasoning in the pot and you just let it sit in there all day. And the tomatoes break down naturally and it's really super delicious. I didn't know I knew you were nervous about it though. So you were like, these are gonna just break down. I'm like, yep. And they did. And it's
Hmm.
such a pretty red too, right? When it's done.
Yeah, it turned out really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, the French. Oh, and we made nachos for release
Oh,
day.
and nachos. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
So
made a
of
lot of
the
stuff.
my favorite of all of them, because that was a question that we sidetracked from.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the pumpkin bread. That was
100%.
so good. Yeah.
100%. This pumpkin loaf, we definitely are going to put the recipe up. But for anyone that wants to make it, Craig stuck to the recipe and used all the seasonings. I replaced the spices with pumpkin pie spice because there was like 8 spices in there, I think, right, Craig? There was like a
Yeah, there
ton,
was.
right?
And I just
Yeah.
happened to have all of them on hand.
Yeah, and normally it's the other way. Normally, like I can get the stuff and you don't have all the stuff and you substitute. But this time, I mean, what was the one I showed you? The cardamom, was it cardamom? It was like $9 or
Yeah, I think
something.
so. Or
Yeah,
was it the
like
cloves? Or you didn't even find ground cloves.
I
You
didn't
just
find
found whole
ground
cloves.
cloves. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just whole cloves. But like if I would have bought all of those spices, just the spices alone, like it would have been like $65 for just the
Hmm.
spices. Meanwhile, like the bakery had fresh pumpkin loaves with frosting there for like $4.50. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know
Hmm.
about this. But yeah, the pumpkin pie spice just that was a perfect substitute because it tasted great. And it wasn't too dense, like we mixed
No.
them
Yeah.
perfectly. And the cream cheese frosting was so
So
good.
good. Yes.
But see, then that I deviated from because I ended up using the whole block of cream cheese in mine.
Hmm.
So, and you made normally it called for half, right? Wasn't it
It
four
did.
ounces?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was delicious.
Hmm.
It was even good today. It was good warm when we ate it, and it was like even better cold.
Yeah. I have a, what if a third of the loaf left? So I think John and I are gonna finish it off tomorrow.
Yeah, for movie night. That will be
Hmm.
yum. If you make it to movie night, unless you have it at lunchtime.
Yeah, there is a good chance it might get eaten before then.
Brunch time. Yeah. Well, it's a Sunday fun day, so that means you can have cake whenever you want to have
That's
cake.
true.
Yeah, I
That's
think
true.
that one was my favorite. But the nachos are always good. For anyone who doesn't know, we make nachos on release day. So when we have a release, we make nachos.
Hmm.
And your nachos, oh, and we added refried beans this time. How were yours?
Yeah. They were good. Just I wish refried beans came in smaller cans.
Yeah.
Because the smallest one is like got to be about a cup and a half in
Mm-hmm.
size, and like that's a lot of refried beans. That is
Yeah.
a lot of refried
Yeah.
beans.
I don't really like them, but when we were making them yesterday, I thought I was gonna puke because I really hate that sound. It's like the
Oh,
sound of the thing like come out that, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
the like the sloppy, like I don't even know. I don't even know what it sounds like. It's just disgusting. It just like slops out of there. But yeah, my husband was super happy that we made him. I'm like, well,
Good.
you can thank Craig because Craig found the can of beans and wanted to make them. So yeah, that was good. But yours looked really tasty this time. You made chicken ones, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
mine were
They
ground
they
beef.
they looked tasty. They were
Yeah,
okay. They were kind
yeah.
of bland. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but normally you put those homemade peppers on them. You didn't put the peppers on them this time, right?
No, because we were with my mom and
Yeah,
she can't handle spice at
yeah,
all. She
yeah,
can, but she just gets intimidated by it.
yeah.
So
It
I
was
was
so
nice to
nice that
her and
your
I left
mom
it
let
off.
us. Yeah, well, it was
Yeah.
nice. She let us use her house all day yesterday for
Hmm.
Bestie Fun Day.
Hmm.
And her kitchen too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we have two more Bestie Fun Days left. Are we making anything else? Well, we juiced today while I was signing, Craig was juicing cucumbers
Hmm.
and Craig taught me something super interesting today that I did not know. And I apparently am not the only one because my husband did not know either. Does everyone else know that it's common knowledge that pickles are just cucumbers? Do you think that most people know?
I don't know. Because I mean, like, yes, I know that, but I would have had to have learned that at some point. So there was a point where I didn't know.
What, when you were like five or something,
Oh,
probably.
no, it was probably older. Like, I want to say it was probably when I was an adult, but yeah, just that vague over
Yeah, I had no
18.
idea. When I asked my husband today, where I showed you the text messages, and he's like, I don't know, pickle bush, pickle tree. Are they under the ground? I'm like, they're cucumbers. So I think that's wild. How long do they take to make like pickles though? Like how long does it
Uh,
take to turn them?
Depends how you make them, because you can ferment them or you can just like can them in a vinegar, water, salt brine.
Yeah,
So I usually do the canning thing. So like it just takes a few hours to make and then it has to sit about a week before you eat them. But if you do the fermenting, I think they probably ferment for about a week or two. Um, and so that takes a while. And
yeah,
then sometime you might can it from there and let it sit longer.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a pickle recipe. I don't like pickles, but I have
I
a really good
know.
pickle recipe that I do when I make it, I will like taste it. And it's like
Yeah,
I can appreciate I make decent pickles, but this is not for me.
yeah. I love pickles. Yeah, my husband doesn't like them. Do you like ketchup? I don't remember if I ever asked you if you like
Yeah.
ketchup. You like ketchup,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not nuts about
No,
ketchup,
yeah. I'm not
but
really nuts
I
about
like
any
it.
condiment, to be honest. I don't really use like a lot on my foods.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
think.
I'd say I like vinegar as a condiment.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
which I think we've
Mm-mm.
talked about before. You don't
Mm-mm.
put vinegar on French fries, do you?
No, no. I don't know if that is the like more like common in Canada. I don't know. If there's anyone who's listening that puts vinegar on their French fries, that's American. Can you please let me know? Because I'm
Yeah.
curious. I've never seen it at a restaurant either. You
Oh,
know what I
she's pretty
mean?
common here.
So,
So
but like
here you,
poutine, the same. Yeah, we don't have the
yeah,
poutine
like
either.
here you would either get white vinegar or malt vinegar. And I
Hmm.
know over in the UK, like malt vinegar is pretty standard as well.
Yeah.
But I sometimes use like I make Cinemac. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But that is Filipino very spicy vinegar that's
Hmm.
made with chili pepper, ginger, garlic, and peppercorns, I believe. And you just all let it sit in vinegar for about a month or two so the vinegar gets nice and spicy. So sometimes I'll pour that on my French fries. That is really good.
I think that's wild. So does it taste, so the only thing I'm wondering is like, is it like salt and vinegar chips? Is it
Yeah,
basically like the same taste?
yeah, pretty
That's
much.
a strong smell, salt and vinegar chips.
Yeah, so you probably wouldn't put, well, I mean, everybody is different. I don't
Yeah.
put a ton of vinegar on, like I
Hmm.
sort of sprinkle it on.
Hmm.
So you just get like a little bit here and there.
Yeah, I don't know. And then people clean with vinegar too. Do you clean with
Yeah.
vinegar?
Uh, I don't do the cleaning in this house,
I
but
know.
I don't think John cleans with vinegar because it never smells vinegary when he cleans.
That's true. I don't like that smell at all. I was just gonna ask you though, we were talking about vinegar. Oh, but you guys also don't really do cheesy fries.
No, right. We're gonna do that as a
Yeah,
podcast at some point.
we should. We've cooked
Yeah.
way too much this week. Otherwise, I would
Yeah.
say we would just do it this weekend. But now that you just told me we made like five things, I'm like, holy crap, I don't think we need to make anything else. We have Sunday and Monday, but yeah, we need to do the cheesy fries are delicious.
Hmm.
But I don't really want to, don't make me try the vinegar ones. I really don't like vinegar.
That's fine. That's
So I
fine.
don't want to try them, but I will if it was your favorite and you were like, really, I promise you'll like them, then I would try it. But like, if you're like,
Yeah,
eh,
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but if I have the option choice between vinegar on my chip French fries or ketchup on my French fries, I'd probably choose vinegar. Like it's not my favorite, and I'm not nuts about it, but I would choose it over ketchup.
I would choose cheese over all
Mm.
of those. I would choose cheese or just salt. Oh my God. But you know what happened? I was with you all day and I didn't even eat all day long, which was
Oh,
stupid of me. I should have had brought a snack with me. I didn't, yeah, you probably didn't even realize that because we were there
yeah.
for, it was
So
like
in
4
your
hours.
defense,
Yeah.
when I do tabling events, I
Yeah.
never plan ahead, and so
Yeah.
I never have food on me.
Well, like if it's outside, I do, but like today I just didn't even think about it. But I did drink the thing, so I had like that, and that was probably like a bajillion calories. So that's
Yes.
probably why I didn't pass out because it was like enough calories to last the whole day. But delicious though.
Hmm.
But I don't even know what the hell we were talking about.
You didn't eat all day at,
Oh, yes. Okay.
yeah.
Sorry. Thank you. This is what happens when you turn into an old person. You just
Mhm.
forget everything. So I stopped at Chick-fil-A on the way home.
Mhm.
My the you guys don't have a Chick-fil-A there, but you've had it before, right?
Not in Winnipeg, but there was one in Toronto. I think it lasted a couple months and it disappeared.
But see, they would have had poutine. Would they, or did they
Oh,
have regular
probably.
waffle fries? You don't remember?
So it was in Toronto, so I never
Oh,
went.
so you never went. Like
No,
you haven't gone ever. Okay.
no.
So they have
But
Go
if it was
ahead.
in Canada,
Then it
there's
would
a
have been
decent
poutine.
chance it would have
Yeah.
had poutine. Yeah.
So they have these waffle fries that are usually really good, but they have to be okay. Well, everyone's different, but for me, I only like them if they're super, super hot. And a lot
Hmm.
of times, Chick-fil-A is so busy that they make them like almost ahead of time. So by the time you get them,
Mm.
they're not like red, scorching hot. They're like medium hot. But today, the fries were like a 10, off the charts, like best fries ever. And then I took my sandwich out and like it's usually a big, I don't know, anyone that's gone to Chick-fil-A knows it takes up like the size of a bun, the sandwich, the fillet. I pulled it out and my hand like squished flat against the bread. There was like no chicken and the bun was cold, the cheese was cold, and like what was on there was like the equivalent of like one chicken strip.
Oh.
like instead of a chicken
Hmm.
sandwich. So I don't know if it was just somebody wasn't paying attention and stuck a chicken strip on there, or if it was just like, a extra small fillet. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I was so bummed out because I wanted that more. But at least the
Hmm.
fries were good. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyway, I think that's the point of that was that I was starving and my food sucked. But don't you hate when that happens when you're really looking forward to something that you haven't had in a while and then you get it and it's such a letdown?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So when John goes out of town, like I always go
Oh,
to
yes.
McDonald's at least
Yes.
once. And
Hmm.
McDonald's, if the fries aren't fresh, they're not that good. And sometimes they don't have fresh fries. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I waited 3 months for this because we don't go if he's not, he
Hmm.
doesn't really care for McDonald's. That's really just
Yeah.
a me thing.
I'm trying to remember. I think you did McDonald's twice this week, right? During Bestie Week.
Did,
Did you
yeah,
get it twice this week?
I did. And it
Yeah.
was really fresh both times. And I have the
Yeah.
world's slowest McDonald's, and they were pretty quick both times.
Remember yeah, Monday was the fastest one
Yeah.
ever. Or wait, was it Monday and
I
John
think it
left?
was
Or was it
Monday. Yeah.
Tuesday? Yeah, whatever day it was, the first day of Bessie Week. It was so fast. I
Hmm.
couldn't believe it when you texted me and you showed me your bag. I'm like, holy crap. Because yeah, your McDonald's is just a little slow. Ours are all very slow. But they're just
Like,
understaffed. They're really
yeah,
understaffed. So it's
like,
not the fault of the people that work there. It's
oh,
just,
absolutely.
yeah,
And like
yeah,
they're all slow here too, but the one by me is exceptionally slow.
yeah. It just is the way that it is.
Hmm.
But also during Bestie Week, we've been watching lots of shows and
We
having super
have.
fun. Yeah.
We started season 12, 13, one or the other of
Oh,
Futurama, the one that's
yeah.
just coming out now. So we watched
Hmm.
the first three episodes, and I've seen all of Futurama, and this is easily the best season
We have
so far.
loved every
Yeah.
episode so far.
Mhm.
I know, but we were nervous with the one. No spoilers though,
Yeah.
but we were nervous for the one at the end. We were waiting for like a super sad ending for one of the
Yeah.
episodes. And luckily it didn't get super sad. But I've liked the pacing of every episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. And all the characters are just so
Like
great.
with
Yeah.
Futurama, I generally don't like the goofy humor episodes. I really like the ones that make me sob. But anyway,
I know.
so the first three episodes of this season, they're all like the goofy humor, but they're so darn good.
Yeah.
The writing is way better than previous seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved all of them so far. And
Yes.
we started watching Heaven Official's Blessing, which we are in the middle of book two reading.
Hmm.
And now we got to, I don't know which episode we made it to, episode four,
I think
maybe?
we're up to four, yeah.
Yeah, so, but
Because we
now
did
that
a double header
John's
one night,
back,
and then the next night we did like one of each show. Yeah.
but now that John's back, Callie loses her TV time with the besties,
Hmm.
so, but I have
Yeah.
all the rest of the time, so it's okay. I
Yeah.
can't complain. John is quite generous with your time.
He is. Yeah. And he'll go away soon enough, and we'll
Yeah.
finish or we'll progress forward in that show. Maybe not
He
finish
will.
it.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, but we're not trying to push John away. No one wants,
No.
well, but yeah, no, it's really funny. I think it's interesting how long the book is and that they can wrap that entire season up, like the whole book in just one season. And
Hmm.
there's not even that many episodes in it, but like you miss nothing. I think
Yeah.
that first season of Heaven Official's Blessing is just, it's really super good. But you are also suffering the caption game that I told you about, that the captions are off if you
Oh,
watch it in English,
yeah. So I'm watching the English dub.
which I told you not to. I told you to
And
watch it in Chinese.
I have the subtitles on, which during the show is fine. Like, I don't know
Mhm.
how it compares to the translated subtitles on the Chinese dub.
Yeah.
But it's fine. But during the theme song, which I assume is sung in Mandarin or uh anyway, it's not in English, but the captions must be auto-generated and they're trying to translate it into English. And there's just one section in the song where it's just like a list of like five people's names.
Yeah.
Somehow that is what the song is about.
I know when you sent me the thing, when you sent me the picture, I'm like, put the Chinese on. Well, they also call Chi Rong, it's the green ghost, and they call him like the sad amour or
Yep.
something in the English one. I don't know. But it's hard. I don't speak Chinese, so I definitely would do a terrible job at trying to translate because it would there would be nothing there. So I know it's difficult, but it sucks when I want you to see a part that says something funny, and then the translation is so terrible that you can't even laugh
Mhm.
at it. Because I'm like, hey, it was like in my head, I'm like, I should ask him if that was funny. And then I'm like, nope, I shouldn't because he's not laughing because obviously the translation was off. So the next time I'm telling you to put the Chinese, when we
Okay,
pick it back up, I'm telling you to put the Chinese dub
sure.
on.
I will listen
Yes.
next time.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we're watching it on Zoom, so we don't want to restart again because we
Mhm.
start at the same time. We do the countdown, three, two, one. So by the time you realize that you have the American dub on, it's not like we want to stop and start all over again, you know?
Mhm.
So
Yep.
it's fine. Yeah. But anyway, so the book signing was fun. What do you
Hmm.
think your favorite part is? Like, because you haven't done a signing for your book specifically, but you've done events
Yeah,
for your books. What's your favorite
yeah.
part about that, you think?
So I think because I always do events as a publisher, and so
Mm-hmm.
I've got a table full of books.
Yeah.
If someone comes up to me and says, you know what, I really like gay werewolves, and I
Mm-hmm.
could be like, oh, you want this book?
Mm-hmm.
Or there
Mm-hmm.
was here's a perfect example. There's this social media figure called Bear Sailor Moon. He
Mm-hmm.
came up to me at KeyCon and he's like, I really
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm looking for gay romance that isn't all about like 20-year-olds. I'd like
Mm-hmm.
older guys. They
Mm-hmm.
deserve some love. And I was able to connect him with one of our books that was about guys in their 30s, maybe 40s, uh,
Yeah,
who it was also a werewolf book, and
it
there's
was
like
the
all sorts
werewolf
of
book.
werewolf
Yeah.
smut. But he was
Yeah.
very excited to buy it, and he think he even shared it on his social media.
Yeah, I remember that. That was really
Mhm.
cool. But so that's what you like more. See, because for me, I love when you're for me, because I'm not, I wasn't in Zoom with you when you did yours. I was in chat with you all day,
Mhm.
but I wasn't in Zoom. Oh yeah, because there was no Wi-Fi there, right? Or something. I don't
Yeah, it
remember.
wasn't good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, I remember for me, the thing that I like the best about when you do them is when you're signing your books. Because
Hmm.
then I think it's just the coolest thing because you have a whole table of other books, but people are picking yours like
Yeah,
out of all the
yeah, that's
books.
true.
So it's, I don't know. I'm always proud of you when that happens. I think that's fun. I don't know. For me, I loved the first person that came up today. Um, they were super sweet and they were like, I just looked up both of these books online of yours and I want to buy them both. So they bought You Can Call Me Cooper and they bought Froderick, Son of Dracula. And we sat there and talked about both books and why I wrote them. And they were just so sweet. It
Hmm.
was such a fun way to start the day with somebody who had never heard of me and didn't go there specifically to have their book signed for me, but like stumbled upon it. I think
Hmm.
that was really fun. I don't know. I met a lot of really nice people today, but I don't know. I just enjoy talking with people about books. So the way that you like connecting people with those other books, I love watching them connect with mine. But I'd also
Hmm.
like what you're doing, like
Yeah.
being able to show them the other books. That's why I love working for the publishing house. Because
Hmm.
like with that person, I told them about Deep Hearts YA, and I'm like, we have this whole palette of LGBTQ YA books. And they were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to check that out as soon as I get home. So, like, and that's a really fun feeling to belong to such a cool publishing house. So
Yeah, I
I'm
can tell
grateful.
you the one thing I don't like about these events
Mm.
is doing a live reading.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have done that
You did a
twice.
good job, though.
Yeah, so I
You
did
did a
that
good
twice. I did
job.
it once with defeating demons and breaking up with my boyfriend, my new young adult horror that came out in the summer. And that was awkward and uncomfortable, but I think it
Hmm.
went over well.
It
But my
did, and you
very
sold a bunch of books after
Yeah,
that.
I did. But my very first reading that I did was from my first erotic romance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I signed up for this reading. I didn't know what to expect of the audience. And the room filled up with all these gray-haired ladies, and I am reading to them an anonymous bathroom blowjob that takes
I
place in the university men's room.
love this story.
And yeah, and then afterwards, one of the ladies came up to me, and I was so embarrassed.
Hmm.
And she said,
Hmm.
if you want to make it dirtier, here's what you do. And she gave me like a whole list of things, and I'm like, okay,
And
okay,
then she
okay.
took you in the bathroom.
That is for Callie and Craig Talk After Dark, our X-rated podcast. But yeah, nowadays I'd be like, oh yeah, she actually gave me some good advice. But
Mm.
back then it was awkward.
Of course. Yeah, no, it is awkward. I can imagine. She's lucky I wasn't there.
Hmm.
But it's I think for me there's the only part I don't like is setting up.
Oh yes,
That's it.
yes.
Like it was like 100 degrees today, and I'm like dragging like I have the suitcase and I have like 3 boxes full of stuff. Because the thing with book signings is you never know how many copies you're gonna need.
Hmm.
So like I have all of these books. I don't know how many I'm gonna sell, which I did sell like a good amount, but like as soon as I get there, I'm like, oh, I have too many of this. I have too many of this. I need to move this. And it's just I don't know. It would be nice if I could just snap my fingers and it was all set up. And the same with taking it down. Like,
Yes.
my husband set everything up so nice for me in the trunk last night. Everything's like nicely packed in the trunk. It looks so nice. And then you saw me today when I was cleaning. I was just like shoving stuff in boxes. I came home and everything is in disarray. He's like, okay, well, we're gonna straighten this up because these are the books. So let's move these. But I just who wants to take the time after an
Oh
event
yeah,
to
yeah.
straighten up? I'm like, I'm
When
done.
I take down my table, it's like I'm just gonna throw these in the box randomly.
Yeah,
I can sort them out later. And
I'll
then
just deal with
later
it
I'm like,
later.
oh,
Yeah.
curse you, past self.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why didn't I put everything away nicely?
Hmm.
But yeah, that was nice. And then there were quite a few groups that came up that bought together, like as a group, which I
Ah,
loved.
yes.
And then one of the last groups was a group of three, and they all three bought the paperback of Froderick and then went and sat in the cafe and they ordered the vampire drink, and it was just the cutest thing to see people reading
Hmm.
it all together.
Yeah,
But
you said it was
yeah.
like a little
It's like a
Froderick
little
book
a
club.
little book club. Yeah, they were like, we could have our own little book club. And I was like, I thought it was really cute. I mean, we have a book club, you and me. It's
Hmm.
Callie and Craig
We do.
exclusive. No one else is allowed in. But
Yes.
it was still cute seeing that age, like, and I did meet some really young readers that will be back when they're older because I had to
Yes.
tell them that this is not a book for little. Neither of my books are really for very, very young readers.
Hmm.
So, but I thought that that was really cute. There was a couple manga loving kids that came in, and I thought that was really
Oh yeah, I
adorable.
overheard your conversations.
Yeah, the one that was, well, yeah, you were there. Those Bluetooth headphones are really good, right?
Yeah,
You could hear everything.
I could hear everything.
Yeah, thank goodness I didn't have to like go to the bathroom or something because I probably would never remember to turn them off. So, the one younger person loved Demon Slayer, and I thought that was really cute. Um, I love little kids watching anime. My kids are anime fanatics. That's all they watch.
Hmm.
Like they wouldn't even know what to do. Like when they meet other kids that are like not watching anime, they're like, what are they actually watching though?"
Hmm.
So yeah, that's all my kids watch exclusively. And then for you,
Hmm.
you only watch the anime that I force you to watch or your other friend group forces you to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, and usually it's just watching the first one or two episodes.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I go through a show. So I've seen Yuri on Ice all the way
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
I've seen the first season of Demon Slayer.
Hmm.
I think I might have seen the first season of Free,
Yeah, and then Cherry Magic,
which was
right?
not anime. That
Oh,
was
you watched the real one.
oh, there's also an anime?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. You watched the real one. I didn't know that this whole time.
Oh,
This
okay.
whole time, I thought when you recommended that to me a while ago, I thought that was the anime you were talking about. You were
Yeah.
talking about the real one.
No,
Huh.
yeah, the real person one and all their
Okay.
goofy awkwardness.
Yeah, and
Um,
you
yeah, and
also
then
go
Heaven
ahead.
Official's Blessing, I guess, would be the other. Haven't made it all the way through the season yet, but that will be the
Yes,
next
it
one I've seen
will
all
be.
of.
That's for sure. And you watched only a little bit of Given, but that doesn't count because you watched it like at a point that you couldn't even really appreciate it because you started it like at a
Oh,
pivotal
that
point.
one. Yes. See, like I barely even remember it. And so I've seen snippets. I've seen part of Food Wars,
Yeah,
and
that one
I've
I didn't
seen part
watch.
of IQ.
Well, that I love, you know that one. That one I love.
I can't remember the name of it, but there's one where you see the guy's perspective of the day, and then the second half of the episode you see the day from his cat's point of view.
I don't know that
Um,
one.
and then there's another one I've seen a couple episodes of where there's a skeleton that works in a bookstore selling manga to teenage girls.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but it
Okay.
sounds funny.
Yeah.
It sounds funny though. No, I don't know that. Why is it only teenage girls? What?
Well, I don't think not like he
Not
seeks them out. It's
exclusively.
just,
Oh, okay.
I think he's selling BL specifically.
Oh,
And it
okay.
tends to be girls that come in and he gets all blushy, even though he's a skeleton.
Oh, so like the bones turn pink or something?
Yeah. I think if
Oh,
I remember right, I've only seen like 3 episodes, I
I
think.
have to
And
look
it
this
was
show.
quite a
I'm
while
gonna,
ago.
I have to look this show up
I don't know what it's
and
called,
see.
so good luck.
I don't know either. So yeah, I think that and I felt really lucky to have a book signing there. And then we have so much still coming up. Like we're
Hmm.
in August and the two of us have already released, well now I released my debut was in May,
Yep.
and then I just released Froderick yesterday. So that's two
Yep.
books. You released
Hmm.
Defeating Demons already, and now in just under
2 weeks.
weeks.
Oh, just under from,
Just
yep.
under 2 weeks. Yep. You
Yep.
get to release the next one.
Yeah, Nobody Loves an Incubus, the sequel
Hmm.
to Frankenstein Builds a Boyfriend.
Yeah. And for
Yeah.
anyone listening, Frankenstein Builds a Boyfriend is going to be 99 cents the week before.
Yes, so make sure you get
Hmm.
your copy if you haven't gotten it already.
Yeah, I know. We're not trying to be all salesy, but also
No.
we're still also authors, so we would love it if you
Yeah.
buy our books. But we're also working on our Christmas story.
Yes, a very dirty, smutty, but
Hmm.
also hilarious and
And
very
sweet.
heartwarming and
Yeah,
sweet
we have
Christmas
everything
book.
in this book. Yes.
Hmm.
But that book is going to be our dirty pen names. So
Hmm.
that is not a Dylan, those are not Dylan James and
No.
Callie Kitsu books like the other two. Because Demons and Incubus are Dylan James, as are
Yeah.
Froderick and Cooper are Callie Kitsu. But this one will be Cameron D and Allie Vixen.
Yes.
It sounds so trashy.
Well, that's kind of the persona we want to give,
Well, do you
is the
remember when we
trashy.
had to pick my smutty name? It took so long. You remember we're going all of those names in the chat. Remember, John had so many, we had so many funny ones. I need to see if I can find that. I'm sure it's still at Instagram, right? Does Insta delete
Probably.
messages
I don't
like when
think
they're
so.
old? Well, they delete messages half the time because half the time our freaking texts disappear when we're messaging each
Oh,
other.
yeah.
Insta has more problems. Like there's always something malfunctioning. Like I don't even know. But anyway, yeah, that was those were really fun. Well, because remember also you guys were drinking that night. So
Oh, and
I
John
know
gets goofy when he has a few
it
drinks.
was it was so funny. I have to look back. We're gonna, you know what, tomorrow during Sunday Fun Day, I'm gonna make it a point to look back and
Okay.
see what some of the greatest hits were. But yeah, we had Allie Vixen, so it's Cam and Allie,
Hmm.
which is Hot Taboo Reads with Cam
Yes.
and Allie. So
For
yeah,
those of you who didn't know that we were connected, that is our
whoops.
Smut account.
That's okay. It's not like super obvious. The only thing that's obvious about it is because we like share all of our stuff there all the time. Like the only YA stuff we share is from Callie Kitsu and Dylan James. So yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
from that
And then
perspective.
also, if anyone follows me on Twitter, I'm pretty explicitly
Yeah.
clear that
Yeah.
Dylan James and Cameron D. James are the
Or
same
the
person.
same person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have social media, and that's, you know, you and I went back and forth about whether I should use that name because I didn't really I don't want to make another account. It's so hard. Like I see you and you have all the accounts that you have set up. And we went
Yeah,
back and forth on whether you would do that again or not. Um, I think it's important to keep the YA separate on one hand, but on the other hand, the YA that I write is older YA.
yeah,
So it's not, I'm never writing for children, and you're really not either. I mean, yours is
yeah.
not, I don't know that yours is as mature as mine. Froderick is about the same as the stuff that you write. I think Cooper is a little dirtier though, because Cooper is
Yeah, it is.
college. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And
Um,
like some of my stuff is, I don't like using the word cleaner, but some of my stuff is appropriate even for younger grades. So
yes.
something
Yeah.
like Thunder
Yeah,
would be
Thunder is
appropriate for quite a
definitely.
bit
Yeah,
younger.
Thunder is definitely. So I don't know. I want to keep it separate, but I think we talked about we landed on that I was just gonna make my Cali Kitsu like a dual account that said, both pen names on it.
Don't,
So
don't,
that
don't.
is probably what
Sorry.
I will do. That's okay. What is he doing?
Uh, oh, Wizard was getting comfortable on a brand new shark bag, and it looked like he was about to
Start
scratch it.
scratch it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Craig won a shark bag today. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we play cards with my mom and one of her friends every few months, and
Mm-hmm.
we call ourselves the Card Sharks, and there were
Mm-hmm.
shark themed prizes, and I got this lovely cloth bag with sharks all over it.
I know. And I was, for once in my life, not jealous of you doing something else because I was taking a nap after the
Good.
signing.
Naps are nice.
It was so nice. It was only 2 hours, but it felt like a 5 hour nap. So,
So, but here's a question. Was it one of
hmm
those naps where you wake up and you feel so refreshed, or is it where you
hmm
wake up and it's like, what year is it? Who am
Yeah.
I?
Yeah, no, it was a good one. It was one of the
Okay.
ones where like I felt like I was asleep for hours. Like I felt so rejuvenated after. And then I looked at the time and I'm like, and my husband's like, what time are you guys recording the podcast? I'm like, I have no idea whenever he gets done playing cards, which you actually got done earlier than I was thinking. Because I know sometimes those days go longer.
Oh, yeah. And
Um,
see, we felt we were there longer than we had
mhm.
planned to be.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's the other friends,
Yeah. The
those ones
dominoes. Yeah.
that always takes longer because that is always like, oh yeah, I'll be back in like 2 hours, and I'm like, yeah, right. It's like 4 or 5 hours
I
later.
think the first time we played dominoes with those folks, I think it wasn't it like 7 hours
It
I
was
was over there?
ridiculous,
Yeah.
okay, because I was waiting because we were supposed to be doing something after, and you're like, oh no, it'll be so fast. I'll probably be gone for like an hour. And it was like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I'm like, what am I doing with my day right now? And then you're like, oh, and then it was like, we just finished the first game, and it was like 4.5 hours later. Yeah, but I mean, the most important thing is that we do work so much. And even though we have so much fun, it's nice that you guys get to have time to,
Mhm.
have fun doing other stuff. So yeah, but this was fun. I'm at home. Thanks for hanging out with us during this
Yeah.
this little chat sesh. And we
Mhm.
will post pictures of the food that we made. And definitely try the pumpkin spice bread recipe and the sauce recipe too, if you're looking for a good homemade sauce.
But do not try the lentil pasta recipe. We won't even
Yeah.
link it because we don't want to call it out
No,
because
no, yeah, I
some
don't want to call it
people
out.
might
Yeah.
love it.
Yes.
It is not for us.
It was not for
And
us. Yeah.
admittedly, we didn't follow the recipe exactly. It
Yeah.
might be phenomenal if you have
Yeah.
cilantro and you don't do it in the crock pot.
And yeah, and Craig and I don't, we don't leave reviews for books, and I don't like reviewing things if I don't have something nice to say. So I wouldn't want to point out which
Yeah.
recipe it was, especially because we didn't really make the recipe right. Like you
But
just said. Yeah.
so at least we mostly followed it because there are,
You
I don't know
did.
if you've ever gone in the comment section on allrecipes.com, but
Mhm.
sometimes it's like I replace all of these ingredients
Yes.
with whatever I had in the kitchen and it didn't work. This recipe gets 0 stars. And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, you didn't actually make the recipe. You made
Yeah.
something else.
And we would not do that to somebody. We would not
No.
say that because, yeah, I mean, because yes, we did follow the recipe like for ingredient wise, but we did add the chicken stock, which there's no way we made it worse by adding chicken stock. I
Yeah.
can tell you that much. But we did not with the pot. We put it in the crock pot, and then we added the noodles because somebody messed up and added the noodles. And then yeah, we turned the heat. The turning the heat up is probably what destroyed it, to be
It
honest.
might have, yeah.
Because yeah, like all the liquid was gone. But yeah, we've had a fun week. And then the next episode, will it be your release? We do
Uh,
every other week. Will it be your release? We have
yeah,
13
yeah, that'll
days
be
until
mine because
release.
I'm 2 weeks after you.
Yeah. We should read. I feel like we should read. I don't know. I'm not gonna say you just said you don't like doing book readings,
So I don't
but
mind doing
you
a
could do
book
it in here
reading
with me.
in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Doing
Yeah.
so the second book read, the young adult one, that wasn't as awkward as reading like a gay bathroom
Well,
blowjob to
yeah.
a room full of gray-haired
Mm-hmm.
ladies.
For sure.
But it was at a really cool queer book fair at a brewery, and
Mm-hmm.
it was noisy. I'm speaking into the microphone. I don't think I'm speaking loud enough. And in fact, at
Yeah.
some point, the host comes up and readjusts the microphone, and I'm just so nervous. But doing
Hmm.
it here in Zoom will be better.
Yeah, no.
I
So
can do that.
maybe we'll do that. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see about it. We're not making any promises because I don't know, we talk too much.
Hmm.
So could we really make time? I don't know. And I also don't know if there's I don't remember. We'll figure it out. We'll see what the
Yeah.
next episode will be. So I guess we don't really need to do coffee with Callie and Craig because
No,
this whole
this
episode was
was it.
coffee
Yeah.
with Callie and Craig. I mean, we had no coffee this time though. But after we end the call, we can have tea or something. We'll see. We were
Mhm.
gonna have drinks with Callie and Craig, but Callie got a migraine, so
Yeah, that's okay. I also shouldn't have alcohol this close to bed. I would be
yeah.
fine though.
Maybe tomorrow night because we're off on Monday. So maybe we'll have
Yes.
drinks tomorrow night. We'll see. After movie night with John, we'll see. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so thanks everyone for joining us.
Hmm.
Final thought of the day is if you're doing a book signing and you have the opportunity to have your bestie join you virtually, you should do that because it makes
Hmm.
it so much better. Um, that's all I have. You have
Yeah.
any final advice for the day?
Final advice for the day is oh, we didn't even talk about this, but
What?
if you're gonna have a book signing, get some cool swag for your table, like
Oh
you
yeah.
did. You had the stickers and the buttons, because a lot of times that is what drew people over.
Mm-hmm.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of people love those stickers. Thank you. Yeah. I had stickers, bookmarks, pins. That is important to get that stuff. But you just have to shop around
Hmm.
because some of that stuff is so expensive. But like everything I bought was cheap and but yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't know if someone would be willing to have you for a book signing, our advice would be to reach out to the bookstore and ask them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of bookstores are willing to have authors come and do signings, but they
Hmm.
don't reach out themselves. They need the author has to be the one to make the reach out.
Yeah, yeah,
So
we've had a few of our authors have book signings,
yeah,
so it's not
yeah.
just your bookstore, it's quite a few of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're independent bookstores too. Like, because I've done mine with Barnes and Noble, and then I did Common Ground. We did a virtual, but Common Ground Books is such a great bookstore. We had them on the podcast
We
before,
did, yes.
and they were gonna let me come do the signing in store, but it was quite a drive for me, so I couldn't go there. But that's like a lot of those smaller independent bookstores, they love having authors in store. So yeah, that would definitely be my advice. You know what we didn't talk about? See, now this is the problem with you and I, because this is what happens on our calls too. The next episode, let's talk about the difference in what we get paid as authors when we sell our books through different like
Oh,
websites and
sure.
stuff. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we didn't talk about the profit margin on, can I say it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, go right ahead.
on Ingram Spark. Like, and I think that that's something a lot of authors want to have their books listed there and they see it as a goal, which is cool. It's a fine goal, but they should also know the profit margin when you sign up to do that, which I'm happy to share that information
Hmm.
with people. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's it. Oh yeah, and I had a sprayed edge giveaway and a Goodreads
Yeah,
giveaway. So
you've been
congrats to
busy.
those people who won that. Yeah, my husband when I came home was like, "Okay, so you did it. You're done, right? Like now." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, the Christmas book is coming out in a couple of months." He's like, "I know, but for now, like that was it, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, Craig's book's coming out in 2 weeks, but yeah, kind of that's it." But it's never really that's it when you release
Yeah,
a book. Like
Yeah.
Because then it's like, yeah, the big part of it is over, but now it's like making sure the book still circulates and you're still like getting people to read it. So it doesn't really end, I don't think. Kind
No,
of
not really.
like
It
this
just,
episode is not
yeah, yeah, it
ending.
doesn't really end.
It doesn't really end. And this call won't end either. We still
No.
have several hours. We get to do writing sprints and we get to play a game when this is
Yes,
over.
yes.
Okay, yeah, no, we need to end. Okay, so tell the people where they can follow us.
All right, you can follow us on oh God, YouTube,
Every
Instagram,
time.
TikTok, Threads, and Twitter at Cali Craig Talk. That's CaliCraigTalk. I don't know if I ever told you why I spell our name out. Have I? I don't think I've ever told you.
Mm,
People
uh,
cannot spell my name. If I say my name is Craig, 9 times out of 10, they spell it wrong. Last name is Gibb, like 9.5
How would
times
they
out of
spell
10.
it? Okay,
Usually
because how?
Creg.
What?
Yeah. And
Okay.
then Gibb, Gibb, that is so hard for people. I get Gib, Gibe, Gieb, Gibbs. Like it's just there's 9 letters between the two names, and like 3 of them are duplicated. Yet it is impossibly hard for people to spell.
Yeah. Well, at least people know how to spell it now.
Yes.
I'm sorry that happens to you, Bessie. It
Oh, it's just
must
I've
be
just
so
gotten so
stressful.
used to it. Like, and in my defense, I don't know if part of it is my hard of hearing accent,
It's
but
not. You
Craig is
talk, you
not
said all of your
that
name.
unusual of a name in
No,
North
it's not.
America. I could understand if I'm like in a
Yeah.
country that
Yeah.
doesn't have like English names as
Yeah.
the predominant norm. Yeah,
Hmm.
but no, here in Canada, you'd think people would be familiar with the
Well,
name
the
Craig.
only way I would think, like the way that you spelled it, like I think you said before that that is the right, would you say that was the right way to spell it in some place or no?
I've never
I've
seen,
never seen it spelled that way.
yeah.
I've seen K, but even that is very odd, like
Mhm,
not the norm. I've only like if someone says to me, my name is Craig, I'm like, well, no, it's not because you're not Craig. But
mhm.
then I'm like Craig, like I know how to spell it. I wouldn't spell it. What did you say? Creg or Kreg? What did you say?
Creg. I get
Yeah,
that one
no.
quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's good that you spell it because we need it.
Yeah.
So good for you. But you did it so fast, I don't even know if you said it right.
Oh,
It's,
I'm sure I did.
normally it takes you like 3 minutes and you're like, okay, I don't know which, well, not 3 minutes. That's super
Yeah.
exaggerative. Normally it takes you a second. And you're not really sure like which ones you're supposed to say or not. So I have no idea. Okay. So anyway, that's it. Good job.
That is, yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
thanks. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye-bye-bye.
You did it. Wait, what was the one you did last time? I forget. I don't
I
know.
don't
You said,
remember.
I think you said adios.
Adios.
Okay, bye. Bye for real. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.